we are live, we are back. Thank you for staying with us. We're just catching up before you caught us. We're just catching up with my guest, and we're going to have a very interesting discussion, as I told you earlier. This month being Suicide Prevention Month, we of course want to create an awareness around it, and that is why we're talking about mental health and suicide prevention. Are you going through a rough time? Sometimes you just go through hard times and you do not know who to speak to. You do not know how to express it, how to put a finger on what you're feeling. It is just hard. So if you're in that particular place, well, this conversation is for you, just to tell you that you are understood. You're not weird. You're not going through it alone. There are many others, and you can actually be helped. You can actually overcome whatever situation that is. And for this particular conversation, I have been joined by an expert. So I have Rhoda Kariuki, a lovely lady with me here. She's been here before in a different conversation, and she's here again. She's a psychologist, a mental health speaker, and a corporate mental health trainer. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you with us.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be back.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So just to start off this conversation, you're a psychologist. For the people who try to understand the difference between like a psychologist, a counselor, and the different professions that are there in the mental health space, please tell us, elaborate to us, what are the different titles or the different people in the mental health field?
Okay, wow, thank you so much. And I do understand that there are quite a number of people who get confused on who do I go to, because there's quite a number of professionals in the field. And we have the psychologist. Some people may also call them counselors, counseling psychologists, all of that. These are the professionals who will provide you with counseling, a talk therapy. When you come to them, you just come, we talk. Then we have now the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is a professional in the mental health who is a doctor, but for mental health. So this is the one who will give you medication.
Psychiatrist?
Yes, a psychiatrist will give you medication. A psychologist not give you medication. Then we have another one we call a clinical psychologist. A clinical psychologist is like a counseling psychologist, but this one can diagnose you. So maybe you're going through a rough time, and maybe you're having this roller coaster of emotions and you're not understanding what's up, and maybe you want a diagnosis, and you don't want necessarily to go to a psychiatrist for medication. You can go see a clinical psychologist who can assess you and then diagnose you with a certain illness, if that's what you're experiencing, and then he or she can refer you now to a psychiatrist if you're in need of medication. For her herself or himself can give you the counseling that you need, or send you back to your counseling psychologist.
Okay. Wow, interesting. So we have, I've taken on that there's the psychologist is the same as a counselor.
Yeah.
And then there's the clinical psychologist.
Yes.
They're the ones who can diagnose what you're having. And then there's a psychiatrist, now the doctor in that profession now who can give you the medication that you need. Okay, amazing. Now from another we have a good understanding of that. There's a particular research that was done, and I just want to get this out of the way. There's a particular research that was done, I think, was it in the US? And it was still in line with this, they were saying, and because I'm asking this because some people have a bias, like, why do you need to go and seek mental health? Ukienda huko utaambiwa uko na shida zenye hata hauna. People say so. But that particular research, I forget. I was reading it recently. I'm forgetting the details of it, but basically it was a research done, and they were trying to prove that most cases than not, when you go to a mental health institution, you'll be diagnosed with something, even if you just have, just stress that you're having or something. So they sent in people who are healthy, they don't have mental health struggles, and then they were diagnosed with, depression, different types, and they were kept in that particular facility for a while. And even when they were acting normally, because they were observed, they went there just to investigate, so that they were acting like normally, because we have different people in the mental health facilities who have psychosis, so there's a particular behavior that they exhibit which is different, you know, from someone who was not suffering from it. So they were for them they were acting normally, and they just wanted to, and they were being given medication every time, but they were not taking the medication, so they were hiding and all that. But when they were being diagnosed, they were told they have this and that, because they were told you're acting too cool, too straight, too what, you know, so like they were overthinking on, they were looking for a problem when there was that. And so yeah, back and forth, so there was that, and then, you know, so it's a whole research, and but that's some of the cases that people have, or perceptions that people have, that when you go, you will probably be diagnosed with something even if you don't. So tell us, what do you think about that, or what is, how would you break that up?
Okay, I would say, even linking it to the first question that you asked, it's very important for us to know the professionals in the field. Because if you walk to a psychiatrist's office, you definitely know you'll come out with the medication there. You know, in one or another, especially once they do their diagnosis, maybe you're experiencing maybe feelings of anxiety or depression, and it may not necessarily have gotten to severe depression. Maybe it's just moderate depression because of maybe what you've been going through, or mild depression. So if you work with a psychiatrist, chances are you will get some medication, some prescription for you. If you work to a counseling psychologist, they are going to give you the talk therapy. You are going to talk with them. So instead of being afraid of, do I go and then they diagnose me with something that I'm not? Maybe you could really be sick and you need that particular help. So it's good for you to go, but now know who you are going to. If you're in a place where you are operating okay, maybe even able to go to work and come back, but you're feeling like you're not there yet, it's good for you to go see a counseling psychologist. Then now from there, if the counseling psychologist notices that there's something more here, let them be the ones to refer you to a psychiatrist or to a clinical psychologist. Because now maybe when you walk into a clinical psychologist and you tell them, I've been experiencing this, I want to get a diagnosis of this. Well, clearly that's their job. That's what they're going to do. But if you go to a counselor or a psychologist and tell them I'm experiencing this, maybe the first conversation they'll start with is, oh, let's talk about it. When did it start? Blah, blah, blah. And then it flows. But if you go to another one, well, clearly you came here for, if you came for medication, well, I give you the medication. And it's a lack of knowledge on who do we go to, and also coupled with maybe the professional at hand. Because if I'm a psychiatrist and you come to me and you don't need medication, I shouldn't give you the medication. Yes.
All right. That is clear. And can someone go straight to a clinical psychologist if you feel like this is more than a talk? I feel like there's really something. Or would you recommend starting with a counseling psychologist before going to a clinical psychologist as well?
You can still go to a clinical psychologist, because a clinical psychologist can also provide counseling. There are also other psychiatrists who are also trained in counseling, so you can still go to a psychiatrist who will provide you with the counseling, But now it depends. You have to really know who you are going to. Before you go, kindly do a little research. If you're going to Rhoda, just go online and, just search who is Rhoda Kariuki, get an idea of who you are going to. Yes.
Okay, that's good enough. And what is your take on the current mental health status in Kenya? Like, how do you think we're doing?
Well, we are not doing well. We are not doing well. And so many people are experiencing mental health issues with a prevalence of, people between age 15 and 29. However, that's just the prevalence. But people, even older people, are experiencing mental health issues. Yeah, and it's really bad, from teenagers, children, now young adults. That's where, it's quite prevalent. And also it's good because now the generation that we have now, the Gen Zs, they are a bit aware about mental health. Maybe not fully aware, but they are aware. So you'll hear them say things like, I'm feeling depressed, or I'm feeling like my mental health is not okay. You see, but the highest prevalence is between 15 years and 29 years. Yeah.
But what do you think this is the case? Truly to what you've said, research shows that, and it's not just in Kenya, in the world, the young people are the ones who are bearing this brand of mental health. What would you say that this is the case from your own observation? What could be the problem that are facing these young people? Because this is our audience, the person watching. falls in this particular age gap?
Well, there's quite a number of reasons, ranging from economical issues. Remember, from 15 to 29, these are adolescents and young adults. So if it's the adolescent, they're experiencing no changes in their bodies and they are becoming these sort of adults. But then the young adults, these are people who are transiting into independence, and it takes a toll on them, you know. Now I'm depending on myself, but then I don't have a job. But then there's also the cultural expectations on me. People are expecting that if I graduate, I should get a job immediately, or I should get this type of a job, and then I don't get that. Or maybe people at home are expecting me to support them in these. So many burdens that are coming to them. Others are in relationships, you know, and then the relationships are becoming situationships, you know. It's taking a toll on them, and it's really, really affecting them. So relationship issues, and others who are not even in relationships, but they're desiring to get into relationships. Yes, because this is the age of where you desire intimacy, you know, you desire to have someone work with you. But if you don't find the person, well, it starts to affect you. And of course now also the stigma of, why are you not married? Why don't you have someone? Why don't you get a child? And it's like each and every time in this particular age group, there's something expected of you. Either you need to grow up, you need to mature, you need to study, you need to achieve this, you need to get this money, you need to pay for this, or maybe you need to get a baby, you need to get married. So many issues in this stage.
It's actually interesting because, as you said, every stage of life is usually some expectation that is put on you, pegged on you. Up, you know, memaliza shule, so have you gotten a job? You know, you've gotten a job, so are you planning to get married?
Yeah.
Why are you not seeing someone? You know, those aunties. You know, you've gotten married. Now, why are you not having children? Why are you having one child? When are you adding the other? Like there's never an end to the expectations of, you know, and I just taking a look at everything that you've said. Why is it that it is now more pronounced than it was 10 years ago? Why? Because our parents say, you hear them loosely speaking, and maybe you will also just address that, because some people say, you know, this generation, kwani wanafikiria tumepitia nini? Wanapitia nini yenye sisi hatujapitia? Hizi ni shida tumepitia. Kama ni kazi sisi tulitafuta pia. Kama ni nini? So like, why is it more pronounced now? So that
okay, there can be quite a range of reasons. Starting from parenting. If you look at our parents' age, when they were brought up, most parents were present. Whether they are going with you to the shamba or they're doing what, but they were present somewhere. There was a sense of community. You know, that those times it was about mtoto analelewa na community. You know, the neighbor could beat you up, or the neighbor could tell you something. And I know, it was quite a community setup. And then there was also the issue of resilience building, since from a young age. You know, a child is taught to handle tough matters. You know, if this is a route, you go in until you find your way out of it. But now, looking at our generation, it's been a bit different. It's been in a generation of where maybe both parents are working. So meaning when this child was young, both parents were not there, or maybe one was there and not 100% there. Okay. Because of work schedules, over schedules, and all of that. Economic status also went high, so clearly the parents may not be around. And also now, we got to a place where parents now started some individualistic thing that I want to bring up my child myself. So you were isolated from community. So you are brought up, you yourself alone, and maybe you are left at home with just your TV and all of that, and maybe just one or two friends here and there. And then now you grow up, you're taken to a boarding school, and once you're done, people are expecting, oh, you should be like us. But then we didn't grow up like you. Okay. Yes. So, and also we are not that resilient, because our generation, asking people how many people know how to do farming, how to, you know, to brave the cold and all of that. People are like, no, why should I brave the cold? I should not actually brave the cold. Why should I be tough? Why should I want some soft life, you know? And it's an innate thing, and it's also a social thing in the environment that we have grown up in. That's what for me I could say. And also coupled it up with technology. the way we've had, you know, the emergence of technology and now interacting with social media, we have friends, but we don't have friends. You know, people know me online, but on ground, I don't have anyone I can lean on when things are tough. But online, people know me. They know me as a good person. I smile. I do this. But really, on ground, there's no community in regards to that. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. And I love that you brought out, you know, that aspect of technology, because we're in that era. You know, the tech revolution is happening now, and most of the young people are on social media. They're the biggest consumer of social media, and we can say that probably it's one of the contributors why it's even now more than it was in previous years. Now, how would you advise that? Because a lot of people have that, especially those you have many followers, but for grounds you do not have people. You know, you don't have someone I can call at 2 a.m. You know, things are not well on my side. Even at 1 p.m. you just don't have someone that you can run to. You don't have people around you, a circle. And when you go online, because some people, you know, I've seen some people go online and cry and, you know, tell their story. And people, it depends. Sometimes you get good people who will be, you know, sorry, they'll be there for you. And you'll get people who will actually do the very opposite. Some people tell you, be strong, you know. Some people will just make the situation worse. So how would you advise people, someone who's in that particular state, to go about things?
Okay. There's something we call a support system, and it's very, very important. Each person needs it. Kuna wale watu watano wako tu, you know, at least maybe it's a family member, a friend, a colleague at work, just at least maybe 5 people. However, people can't just come to you. You have to go to people. As much as you are going to them online, make sure that you are also going to them kwa ground. You know, maybe things like going to church. Show up. Show up to that fellowship mulitwa mahali. Show up to that, maybe your friends want to hang out with you. Show up. You know, if you don't show up, people will, of course, you know, discriminate you, or maybe they just step aside. Show up to that family gathering. You know, make connections. Call that friend and check up on them, because I can't check up on you if you don't check up on me. So it has to be an intentional decision for the content creator or for this person who is online to, I want to be connected to ground, not just online. As much as people online, they are real people, but they can't get to you. There are people going on with their life, and you know, online it's a brand. It's what you want me to know you for. But now kwa ground, the people who know Rhoda, not even as a psychologist, but Rhoda is who she is, you know, and that helps you, because when things are not working out on this particular end, the people who still see me as a valuable person, there's people who still see me as a worthy person. If it's at home, spend time with your child. If it's maybe your husband, spend time with them, or your wife, your girlfriend, able show up, and you have to intentionally do it. Otherwise, you just have good people who mean well, who are online, and maybe other bad people who are online who will tear you down. And if you don't have a place you can fall back on, it will tear you up. But you have to be very intentional on creating friendships. Show up to family meetings. Don't say, oh, mimi ni celeb, siwezi show up, mikutano nini nini. Please, you show up. Chances are, most people around maybe where you live, they don't know you. And even if they know you, let them know you for who you are. Yeah.
Wonderful. So just, I love that. Show up. You can't expect people to be there for you. If you're never available for them, you're never available for friends, for the different reasons you find, for the different excuses, because you'll always find an excuse of why you cannot show up, why you cannot be there. But it is important to be intentional with nurturing our friendships, because that's how you know, we get something from it. And how, still on social media and technology, how do you say someone should go on operating their, you know, you don't, not necessarily influencers, but even just us ourselves, you know, normal day users of social media. How do you make sure that what you see online does not affect you as a person? Because there's also that pressure that you get from, oh, embarrassed, oh, the husband, oh, the child, oh, you know, depending on because you follow who you, I don't know, people that you admire and you want to be like them and you can't be like them maybe at that particular point in life, and that puts pressure on you. I've had stories of marriages literally breaking because of the expectation that you put now, like for young people particularly, because the young people are the ones, the young couples, the young adults, the expectation they put on their partners, either boyfriends or husbands, you know, that they want you to treat me like Bahati treats Diana. Surprise me. I want a push gift, like how, you know, these things, especially for ladies. I feel like it gets to the heads of ladies more than men. I don't know. But yeah, how do you cope with that? How do you create a good balance, but especially for your own well-being?
I would say build your self-esteem and work on you first. Okay. Because once you build yourself first, you will be confident in who you are, even if you see someone else is living a completely different life or a life that you dream of. And you will know that I will also one day get there, because they are also there out of a certain journey they've gone to. And then understand that people online, they're creating brands. And a brand is who I want you to know me as. So if I want you to know me as a rich person, I'll show up as a rich person, even if I'm not a rich person. So you need to understand that that particular person that you are maybe comparing yourself to is creating a brand. And you can also create a brand, you know, of your own. And so you shouldn't compare yourself to them, because they're just showing you a snippet of their life and what they want you to know. They may not necessarily go on showing out their struggles and everything, but they can show off their good parts. And you need to understand that and know that maybe I'm going through life, and it doesn't mean just because this person keeps on posting just good things that life is not happening to them. They are also human beings. Maybe they're not struggling financially, but maybe they're struggling emotionally. Maybe they're experiencing some mental health issues. Maybe they're experiencing some physical illnesses. Maybe they're experiencing, some social problems. Maybe they don't have friends, and you have so many friends that you're smiling with. And now you want to, discriminate your friends so that you become like that celeb. Yeah. And don't compare yourself to anybody, even whether it's online or whether it's on the ground. You don't know their journey. And maybe if you are given their life in one day, you can't survive. So let them live their life and you live your own life. Know that you're worthy in the way that you are. You are enough the way that you are. And you can get there. If what you see in someone may be like, I don't know, a social media person, like maybe say Dr. Linda Muthoni, I follow her, and maybe you desire like her life, there's a journey that she has walked. Why don't you also have your own journey? Why don't you also start your journey, and go step by step, and you will get there one day. And maybe when you get there, you won't show it off. Maybe you'll just be like, you know what, I don't want people to know about my life. I want people to know, maybe know about mental health, not about Rhoda per se. Okay. So it's a really an intentional decision that you still have to make. That I won't compare myself. I'll be confident in who I am, and I'll surround myself with people who value me, and not people who are also comparing themselves. People who they are confident in who they are, so that we walk this journey. And social media is not going anywhere. It shall forever be there with us. So we can't keep comparing ourselves. You can't compare your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your whatever. If your boyfriend can only afford to take you to KFC, just go to that KFC. One day you'll be taken to Kempinski. Or why don't you work hard and take yourself to Kempinski? Because it's possible.
Exactly. Yeah. I believe that. Do it for yourself.
Yeah, do it for yourself.
Don't put expectation on other people. Yeah. But you've put it well, whatever we see online, it is a brand. Yeah. I am selling to you what I want you to see. So if you fall for that, you don't know the struggle that I, Stephanie, I'm going through. I will just put on the good side every time. Rarely would you put the bad thing on, unless I want to trend for a certain reason, get traction to something. That's as celebrities do it. What about how AI has come to the space? Many people, interestingly, it just started as a joke, but I've increasingly seen people rely on ChatGPT. Yeah. First, it started research for school, still does, yes, but people have even gone to it for personal issues. How do I do this, when you get to research about it, people ask about relationship questions, people ask it about mental health issues. I know I had told our viewers earlier on that there was a story in the western side of the world of a young man, who confided on AI. I don't know which of the open chats, OpenAI test, I think it's with ChatGPT, for advice, and he opened up about his his intentions to suicide or to take his life, and that is one of the things that we're talking about, suicide prevention. So he opened up about it, and ChatGPT said, go ahead. Like, it advised him to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Like, so, and I remember, I know it because the parents were suing the OpenAI, but the OpenAI said there are still developments happening, and, they weren't aware of that ethical issue. So this thing is still being developed. But what would you say to people now, over relying on now the AI, even for emotional comfort and very personal, intimate matters like this?
Okay. One, we are social beings, and AI is a tool. It's not a social being. So no matter how you feel that, if I feed with this, it will communicate back to me. And it really speaks so well. And it picks up even your tone. It speaks to you even in a very conversational tone. And what I would say is that it will never replace a human being. And it's also a program that is being developed, and it can crash anytime as well. So don't form a relationship with that tool. I can't form a relationship with this table just because I can put something on it. Same thing with ChatGPT. There will be another better ChatGPT that will come up. There will be another thing. How many relationships will you be in with these particular things, and sharing your personal life out there? And it will give you some information for sure. And I do know that they're getting better at it, even integrating mental health professionals to give feeds to it, so that they can better help people. And people want that fast response. But it's good also to have those mental health professionals that you can be able to reach out to very fast. You can text a psychologist and tell them, I'm going through this 1, 2, 3. And I know sometimes the challenge is the cost. You are like, if I go to a psychologist, they're going to charge me for this consultation. But if I go to ChatGPT, I'll get some information. But nowadays, even ChatGPT or other AI platforms, they'll tell you, kindly go see a professional in regards to this. So kindly do not form a relationship with that tool. It is a tool, it's not a social being. You better say, I'm not able to go to a psychologist or to a mental health professional, but I can go see a friend. I can go see a family member. The issue is go speak to somebody.
Look for somebody, a human being.
Yes, a human being, not a pet. Okay, like it has to be a human being. Yes, speak to somebody. They will be able to help you a lot. And maybe you're in a place where the people you have around, they're not people you can really rely on. Nowadays, use the same ChatGPT and look for mental health professionals in Kenya. Look for mental health facilities around you.
Just get information.
Just get information from ChatGPT. And remember, it's a tool. It's not a big. Please.
Very important. It's a tool, not a being. So do not trust it more than you trust your friend.
Yeah, I know.
As much as people can go, I think there's also that Gopa, what will they think about me if I tell my friend, and especially for men, because men, I know that there has been a bit of awareness around it and campaigns around to just get men to open up. But there's still that, what will they think about me? If I tell people, they think I'm weak, that I'll appear weak, or there will be washe, it'll be too much washe for me. So how do you break that thought process for a person? Like, why would you break off from thinking, I don't want to tell them because sitaki, first, I remember there's a friend of mine, not a friend, I was actually just there when she was talking to someone about their current status, mental health status, and they were like, I can't tell my friends because first, what I'm just saying, they will feel sorry for me. This was a lady, not even a gentleman. They will feel sorry for me, and they will, when I'm talking too much about it, because when you come once and then you come again and then the third time, they will think that now I'm a bother. They would want to exclude you because now you're not bringing the good vibe to the table every time. So how do you break from that thought?
Okay. First, it depends on the type of people you have around you. If you have the type of people who you know for sure these are not the right people to go to, then they're not the right people. Because you can open up, but open up to the wrong people. And it will make it worse. It may make you silent forever, But that's why I'm saying the power of the 5 people, or maybe 3 people, the good people in your life, the people that you can always reach out to. If you have the right people in your life, then it can be very easy for you to go to them. Or maybe, it may not be easy to go to them, but you can speak to them. And stop having a conversation with your own head. Stop talking to yourself. I mean, go talk to somebody. Because now you're talking to yourself, telling yourself, oh, they will see me as a weak person, or they will see me as this and this. They have not seen you as that. Let them say it. And if they say it, be ready to take it in and be ready like, oh, so that's what you think about me, then I'll go to another person. And eyes on the goal. The goal is for me to share what I'm going through, because one of the biggest causes of suicide is silence, because if you kept quiet, you go speak it out. If the person you thought was a good person then turns out to, oh, this is not the right person, immediately go to a different person. And that's why if you don't have the right people around you, kindly go to a professional. I may not recommend a pastor, because I don't know if your pastor is literate on mental health, maybe a teacher, I don't know if they're literate on mental health. So you may think someone, because of their title, they're good, but they're not literate on things to do with mental health. So it's good for you to go to a professional. That is if you don't have people around you that you can speak to. And then just as I've said, don't talk to yourself about this thing. Go talk to somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. Because your thoughts will lie to you, and you are not those thoughts, you are not those emotions.
It's that particular situation that's making you feel that way. Now, suicide, it has been often referred to as a silent killer, and I believe it's because most people do not talk about it. Why is this the case, and how can we break away from it again?
Okay. Suicide is as a result of course, things like silence. You go through something and then you don't share. So no matter how good people are around you, they never knew what you were going through. But then again, suicide is a process. If nobody just wakes up one day and decides, you know what, I'm going to kill myself. It's a continuous process. They're going to start showing signs, maybe they may start showing signs of maybe overusing substance or alcohol. They may start to verbalize, telling, you know what, I'm going to kill myself. Or maybe they may start giving out their prized possessions. Maybe just come and give you my laptop, I come and give you maybe if you have a business, someone is handing over the business and you're like, why is this person doing this? Someone just quits their job and decides, I think I'm done with this and all of that. And there will always be signs. And then this person gets to a place, nobody noticed, and so they die. And it's also as a result of people around us not being literate on mental health. I'm very big on mental health literacy, and that's why I train people on mental health. Because once you know, how do I know when someone is suicidal? And when I know, how do I manage it? How do I know when someone is depressed? And how do I manage it? Then it's very easy for you to tell a friend who is, I think the way anaongea hayuko sawa. There was a case scenario in a certain university, I think it was last year, of a student who committed suicide in the bathroom, like in the washroom of the university. And when I was speaking to the students, they told me that just that week, he came to the room with a rope. And he used to joke a lot. So he came in telling people, you know what, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to kill myself. So people thought it's because of his humorous nature that he just keeps on saying he's going to kill himself. Then that particular week, he bought a rope. And the roommates are saying, oh, he had a rope. He bought a rope and it was in the room. And for me, I take it as if the people in the room were literate on mental health and they were conscious enough, they could have questioned the behavior, and the life was lost. No life should be lost to suicide, because it's not like an accident. It's something that is very, very progressive. And most people who are experiencing suicidal thoughts, they will try to communicate in one way or another. It could even be as subtle as maybe you go to a burial and someone just says something like, you know what, it's better that person who just died. And for you, you can be like, oh, why do you think that? Why do you think, why are you preferring people who are dead than people who are alive? Or someone naturally just having a conversation on death so many times. Someone keeps on asking you, what happens after death? Or like, if I go there, will I die? The conversation changes to all around death, and a lot of negativity. Telling someone, oh, you have a very nice dress. They tell you, this one, it's very old. Oh, this one, you're very beautiful. No, I'm not beautiful. Leave it. Have you seen nani, nani, nani? So every time there's a lot of self-criticism and looking down on themselves, the lack of, you don't value yourself at all. And so all these are signs that we can see. However, if you are not literate on mental health, and that's why I'm so appreciative of conversations like this, because they normalize things. They also educate people that people will show signs. And if we are keen enough to notice them, then we can be able to help people.
Absolutely. So there's always telltale signs before we lose someone to suicide. Those things you can look out for, and they always speak, they always try, like they cry out for help without really coming out directly and saying this is what I'm going through. And you've created an awareness on now how what people outside should look out for. But what about the person themselves? Like when do they, how do you know? Generally, even before you get to suicide, I believe you'd have gone through depression, to clinical depression, to all those levels. How do you know that I'm not well? Like, how do you now say I need to see some? I think I need some intervention of some sort, or even I've talked to friends, but no, they have been there for me, but still, this is. I need more help for myself.
There's going to be changes in your body, and particularly there's going to be changes in your thoughts. You used to think more of the positive light, but now you just see everything as negative. You used to think, tomorrow is going to be a better day. Now you're like, oh God, I'm so tired about tomorrow. I don't even want to get there. Or someone tells you, oh, you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are one. You're all like, no, I'm not. You see things in a more of a negative light. Then you start to notice your emotions as well. They're more on the downside. You are not experiencing like the positive emotions, like the happiness, excitement, joy, all of those. You are now experiencing more of anger, sadness, and especially prolonged sadness. You're just in that place where you're like, oh God, I'm so sad. Each and every time you're just feeling like you're so sad. And don't ignore it. It's your body telling you something. And then of course you may have your behaviors changing as well, where now you may start maybe isolating yourself. You used to go out to people, now you prefer now to maybe just coil back and stay on your own. You start to abuse drugs and alcohol, or maybe you start to use alcohol in excess, or there's just behaviors, reckless sex, just going around sleeping with everybody. You are driving recklessly and all of that. There will be signs in your thoughts. Just notice a change in your thinking pattern, in your emotions, and in your behaviors as well. And then of course, if it is causing distress in your life, if those thoughts you're having are causing you distress, and those emotions that you're experiencing and that behavior is causing a distress to you and to the people around you, it means there could be an issue. You can also look out for an impairment. Impairment meaning the things you used to do, you are now not able to do them. Maybe you used to go to work with ease. Now going to work is such a hassle. Like you just feel you're so tired. Like it's literally unajikokota kutoka kwa nyumba. You're like, oh God, someone just carry me and get me there. If there was a chance you are told not to go to that job, and not because the job is bad, it's just an internal thing and the things that you're experiencing. So that impairment peer can say something. And then of course now the final one has having some deviant behaviors, which is now the behaviors that are not good that you start to exhibit. That's how you know, I think I'm not okay. And if the things you used to do with ease, you're not struggling to do them, my recommendation, go seek help, because that little stress is what will magnify to depression. Just you better even go for 2 or 3 sessions and then you're done. Then you get to severe depression. Now you must go to you for how many sessions? Then now you must see a psychiatrist. Even the cost is even higher. It
becomes more expensive the longer you stay with it. The cost. Are there triggers or what are the root causes of suicidal thoughts? And
it depends. There could be maybe one was experiencing depression. So with the depression, in the sense of depression, you're feeling worthless, you're helpless, you're in this place seeing things in a very negative light. That is very easy for someone to, get themselves to suicide. Then of course there's now the traumatic events. Maybe you lost someone who was very close to you and you felt like your life depended on them. Or maybe you lost a job that was very dear to you, and now you feel now like, now there's nothing for me left here. And so now at that point you may feel like, you know what, I'm better dead than alive, because, well, without this person, without this thing, or without this particular whatever thing or person is, you may feel like you may want to die. So there can be depression, there could be traumatic events, there could also be suicidal substance abuse. There are some substances you can abuse to a certain level, and then you are going through some issues, and then you're just like, what, why don't I just kill myself? And we've seen a lot of celebrities. Most of them, the cause has been said it's suicide, but there's also now the part of they had maybe used drugs, and so drugs as well can also exacerbate you to getting into suicidal thoughts and eventually committing the suicide. And you see, it's interesting that more men commit suicide, but more women attempt suicide.
Okay, what
interesting.
Tell us about it.
more men will commit suicide because you see most men are not sharing their thoughts, and men are very straight in their thinking. They just be like, you know what, I think where I am, I don't see any light, and I think there's
So
no...
this is the solution.
The solution is death. So let me just get on with it. But then there are women who will think in circles. They're like, you know what, I think I'm not worthy. But then I have a child. But then, you know, I have Steph. I can go and talk to I come to Steph and I'm there talking to Steph. You know what, I'm going to kill myself. You're already sharing that your intentions. So Steph will definitely step in to help you. Yeah. Or you're also like venting out what you're going through and you speak about it. So you find women are attempting more because of even the emotional state of women. But then men, they will, you know, a woman will think about it and not do it, but a man.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's men are more prone to committing suicide, which is very unfortunate. So the solution is just seek help. When you feel like you're not doing well, something is off, something is amiss, just go and speak it out. Yeah. That lies the solution. You know, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. What about that? You know, some would say, especially for men, because men are very logical, someone has lost everything. Because I remember doing an interview just on the same topic around mental health, and because he was giving his own story on how he sort of survived a suicide, because he was at the very edge. And for him, it was just an awakening. The parents helped and all that. But for a man, in a situation similar to his, because he shared his openly, he lost his job, he lost his wife. No, he lost his child first to death, and then he lost his wife as a result. There was just alienation. He lost. His friends are not there. His property, you know, he lost everything that represented who he was, you know, and he went back to Ushago, and in Ushago is where you see the graveyard of your son. It reminds you that, you know, you have failed in life, like you're failed as a parent, because now you blame yourself for it, like what could I have done, something could I, you know, what have I amounted to? I was once a great person, now life is worthless. So for someone like that, tell them, let me go speak to Rhoda. Like, how will Rhoda help me? How will Rhoda bring back my son? How will Rhoda give me money, because I need money now? Are you just going to talk to me and then what? So someone, you know, men would ask those questions. They just don't want to talk. What is the talk worth? You know? So what would you tell them?
I would say that's the help that is needed at that particular moment. Just speaking to someone, and someone who is able to, number one, listen. Maybe the issues you're going through, you've just been talking to yourself. Speak to somebody who will listen, and a professional is the best option, because at least you are sure here. I know, of course, you do your research, and whoever you find, at least I'm sure here I'm going to the right person, because that is the help that you need at that particular moment. Even if I gave you money, maybe it may not solve your issues. And I say the memes going around of, you know, sometimes the keyword to your depression is just an M-Pesa message. Like
that's an M-Pesa tin.
I know, but then it will come. Maybe for sure the cause of the depression or whatever you're going through was financial issues, and you'll be able to you know, solve it. But that situation did something to your mind. Go and speak about it. Go seek the help, let the person talk to you. And I know you may say like, "Ranisaidia na nini," but you will feel the relief from your body. It's like going to the doctor and you're like, "Ranisaidia na nini?" Satakupe dawa. Uende kunywa hizo dawa ukue sawa. Huwezi pewa dawa and then you're like, "Ida ranisaidia na nini?" You have to take it and then you see the result of it. The same thing with therapy. Go to therapy. Speak about it. Your body will reward you. After that, you will find your mind is thinking clearer.
Now you can think straight. How can I get
straight? Then you have, maybe with the psychologist, you came up with some solution that you can do something. Maybe she has networks that she or he can refer you to. You know, you have people that you are working with. Maybe they can refer you to a community that you can journey with, because that is what you need.
Absolutely. You've put it so well. Now, the other group that is usually left out or, you know, overlooked are the children. It pains me so much when I hear a child has committed suicide. There's some time back, I think last year, our class, was it 4th child, you know, committed suicide. It was in the news, and so I was like, what could have really gone through the mind of this child? Like, what did this child go through that they that they even thought that suicide is an option. Like
and
they
a
even
solution.
know about suicide, you know, like how do you even know someone should take? So, like you would think only adults go through problems because of the struggles, financial. It's easily explainable for an adult, so that maisha struggles are many, but for a child, how are the cases like? Other cases, tell us about it, and how do you, for parents, for young parents, how do you identify that your child, you know, has a problem, or how do you just create an environment where your child will not be subjected to mental health struggles?
Yeah. It's really unfortunate that children have to go through that. And you know, children have needs, and not just physical needs. As much as parents say, oh, si anakula, oh, si anafanya nini. I mean, si analipwa school fees, si nini ingine anataka kupendwa aje. No. Anataka kupendwa ile mapenzi ya unakaa na yeye unamwambia I love you. Be present with your child, you know, let them know that you love them. Don't just go to work and you're coming back, they never see you around. They have emotional needs. Don't call your child names that, you know, a previous generation used to call their children. You are very useless. Wewe ni ng'ombe, wewe ni mbuzi, wewe ni kama baba yako. You know, those words, they go so way deep, you know. So those are things that may cause a child to go through that, what they're consuming. And of course now we have the internet. Kindly, if you can, keep your child off the internet. You know, don't give them access to social media, because where else are they learning that suicide is a solution? You know, it's on social media. Or maybe you have people in your house that you have no idea what conversations they have in the house, and maybe the child is picking it up. So it's important to know that. Pay attention to your child. When your child starts to be more clingy to you, or is crying more, or maybe all of a sudden the child's performance in school has significantly dropped, or maybe the child is, they are not now, they are isolating themselves, they don't want to go out with their friends, they have lost interest in things they used to love, they don't want to go maybe swimming, they don't want to take them out or something. There's a change in something. That means that your child may be going through something. Most children will talk to you. They'll tell you, Mom or Dad, this and this happened. When I was in school, this guy told me I look like this, or this person touched me like this, or this and this happened. But if you're never present, that child has nobody to tell what they're going through. And end result is those thoughts start to take a toll on them. And you know, the mind of a child, it's very small. It's just trying to grow. The mind matures at 25. Now imagine the mind of a 10 years. 10 years imagine old. It's very, very young to handle that. And they are not able to, you know, deconstruct information like the way you tell a child things like, nasi wachana na huyo rafiki sitafuta watu wengine. That child is in a place where it's feeling, I don't know watu wengine wagani, you know. Exactly. And the things that we do, and I do understand as adults, maybe your job changed and you have to change an environment, kindly involve your child in it. Let them know, tunahama. Let them know the school you used to go to, you won't be going to that. The church you used to go to, you're not going to go to that.
Because of this and that.
Because of this and that. Let them know that, you know, you work at that time. Let them know that by the January, you won't be reporting to the same school because of 1, 2, 3. Kindly, you can be telling your friends bye-bye, nini. We will maybe be coming once in a while to say hello to them. Because you can't be ignorant of the fact that this child is a human being. Akona friends. The same way you can just move from the area of where you are staying to a different place, or you can just move from one job to another. It's more than just the salary. It's a community. It's an identity. It gives you more than just what people see. The same thing with a child. So it's important for us to be intentional in our parenting, and to know that if a child needs this, kindly take care of them. Hear them out. Akitoka shule, umemwendea shule, ama maybe may come home, spend an hour. Or maybe if your job doesn't allow, why don't you maybe take breakfast together with your family before you go to work? Na akienda shule na huko nyumbani mkenya breakfast, have breakfast together, ask them how are you, nini. Na si ile ku brush off, because they can tell you're brushing things off, or maybe you kona haraka utoke. Give them 30 minutes of your time. They may not need you 100%, but 30 minutes per day, it will go a long way in helping your child know, hata shule nikipitia this, or maybe it's a teacher who alienda kuinua mkono akamwambia wewe na mimi nikiherere sana, put your hand down. And she needs to talk about it at home. Akisema hivyo, you encourage them, then you take them back to school. It will make a very big difference.
Absolutely. I think those are great parenting tips, because some people, you know, and especially the young people, they just they just wing it at parenting, and you can't just wing it with a human being. You have to in as much as you did not have experience, you have to be very intentional is the word. Know what to do, research, know how to go about things, you know, how can you identify a few things are not okay and all that. Now, how can you, for the community and a family as well, because we're creating this awareness, how then do you treat or care for someone who has, you know, is going through depression or suicidal thoughts? Because they don't just tell you I have depression and then you expect to talk to them the next day, things are okay, or I'm suicidal, and then you think because they have you have paid for their therapy that they should be fine automatically. So how do they, what are the practical steps to support people who are going through mental health struggles?
Okay, the first thing is just be there. Be available, even if you don't know what to say. Sometimes you may feel like, oh my God, this is so confusing. Should I talk? Should I be quiet? Should I help you? What should I do? But just that presence in their, maybe around their house or around their life somewhere really helps. And then as much as you're being available, kindly specify your availability. Because this person may now understand that, Steph is not there for me 100%. But then, like right now, Steph at work, you can't call her. And if I call you and your phone is off, maybe someone who is experiencing like something like severe depression may think, I think Stephanie is tired with my issues, you know. But if you specifically told them, you know what, I'm going to work from this time to this time, so I may not be able to pick up your call from this particular time, but from this particular time, I'll come see you or I'll give you a call. So be available, then specify your availability. Okay. Then if it's someone who is in the level of maybe a suicidal attempt, you can take away the dangerous instruments around them. Maybe it's a knife, maybe it's a fork, maybe it's a rope, a tie. The things that in your own wisdom you think you can take it away. Kindly do it. Then if the person lives alone, if you can live with them, well and good. Or maybe if you can have a family member come live with them, or they can live with a family member, that can really help, because they need to have a community around them and not just be alone. If they're alone, you can also try to like come up with a contract, like take a book or something, write, Rhoda, commit that I'll not commit suicide, blah, 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 and then Stephanie comes and signs. Stephanie, I have witnessed that Rhoda will not commit suicide intentionally or unintentionally. People have a tendency to honor their promises.
Wow.
Yeah, so when this person maybe gets at the verge, you know, at the end, they may be like, you know what, let me just call Stephanie and just let her know that I think I'm done. And by them calling out, what that means? It means they're seeking for help. So you can be able to help them in one way or another. But be around them, encourage them, go for a walk with them. Even if someone doesn't want to go out, tell them, you know what, let's just go for a walk for 30 minutes. Mali tunaenda hakuna watu wengi. Or see Sunday ukam church. Ama kama si church, so kama fellowship inakuanga na watu kidogo. Just come and then you chill out with you, then you go back. But usimchukue mpeleke tena club, aende kunywa pombe, sijui nini, tunajaribu kumsaidia.
Tunamtoa stress.
Yeah, tunamtoa stress.
It doesn't work.
Please don't.
You are both social people.
Yes.
You know, you love partying and all that. Take them somewhere where they will actually get real help, not temporary help.
Exactly.
After, you know,
utaki tu a smile. You want them to be well, holistically.
And what for an emergency situation?
Okay.
You know, someone's calling you right now, telling you, I'm just calling to tell you bye, because I believe there are incidents like that. Someone just wants to kuacha kama amefunga, you know, things are okay. So I'm just calling to tell you bye. I'm jumping over this roof. You know, you're not there. So how do you handle such a situation? How do you talk through to this person? How do you deal with it? Yeah. Okay.
How to help someone who is on the verge of, you know, committing suicide? If someone maybe called you, maybe you can say something like, can you maybe hang on kidogo? I come. At least I see you. You know, like let them just know, can I just come and at least I see you? Maybe they just be like, okay, so maybe I can wait for a few minutes and then you can get there. Or you can say, kindly let me call someone to come and be with you the moment as I come. Then as they're waiting and then you get there, you're able to help them. But maybe you found them really on the verge. You need to, of course, be very calm when you're speaking with them. Let them know that, you know what, there's a solution to what you are experiencing. And you're not the only one experiencing. I am also experiencing it, or someone else is also experiencing it, and I can help you through this. And they may tell you something like, I've tried to seek for help, they're not helping me. Tell them, can we try again? I'm going to help you. Because the very thing that this person needs the most is someone who can help them and someone who can work with them. And then, of course, now in the meantime, as you're having that, kindly make sure you are speaking with a professional, because someone who has attempted suicide or is attempting suicide is a psychiatric emergency. So you need a professional. As much as you're a good friend, at that particular level, you need a professional on board. If you can go there and then you can go with a professional, well and good. Or you can go there, talk to them, then the next day
convince them to go to a professional.
Yes, that will help. You can also help them check into a hospital, you know, if it's the next day or maybe it was at night or maybe that particular day, take them to a hospital. You can as well call an ambulance and take them to the hospital. But if it's not really like a case that is warranting an ambulance, just take your own car or take an Uber and take them to the hospital. But don't ignore it. That time also don't leave them alone in the house. Kindly stay around with them. Yes.
The whole time.
Lakini ukisikia ule mwenye ako suicidal but hajafika hiyo level ya tempting, you can maybe help them as you are looking for a professional. Lakini ana attempt is a psychiatric emergency. Kindly.
It is an emergency.
Yes.
So act on it immediately.
Yes.
Wonderful. Before we come to a close of this, you know, what immediate steps as well can someone take to cope before they seek professional help? Someone who's listening today who's struggling with something, what immediate steps can they take even as they look to seek for professional help for one reason or the other? Maybe they are not able to afford, but I know there are free services, but what could they do at a personal level?
Okay, there's the aspect of self-care. And there's one thing that maybe you can do, maybe something like journaling, if you're okay with it. And even if you're not okay with journaling, just journal. Just take a paper, just try. A paper won't judge. And just release those thoughts on paper. You know, whatever it is that you're going through, write it down. That paper will not judge you. And even once you finish, if you want to burn it, you can burn it. But just release it on paper. Then you can try and challenge yourself. Just push yourself and say, you know what, I want to give myself a break. And each and every day, at least 30 minutes, walk outside or maybe even at the balcony, just to stay outside in fresh air. It will help you a lot. So journal, go out in fresh air, and then of course now eat well. Kula tafadhali, even if you've lost appetite completely. At least the 3 meals per day. Even if it's a fruit, take that fruit, that apple, it will help you. Then take your water, take a meal, whichever meal it is, but at school junk, like don't just, you know, just be ordering things in the house and just eating junk. If you can take some vegetables, some meat also helps as well. There is some good food, it will going to help you. Then sleep well. Eat well, sleep well, a minimum of 7 hours. And I know you may be struggling to sleep, but when that moment when you're struggling to sleep, make sure that you are journaling, not just to stay awake with your thoughts. Like do something about that thought, as simple as journaling. And if you don't want to journal, you can record on your phone. You can even use the WhatsApp voiceover bit. You can just record your feelings, just let it out. Then you can do the deep breathing exercises, you know, just to help your body to calm down.
Calm down.
Yes.
Okay.
And it can help you if kidogo kidogo. Then of course now speak to somebody. And try your very best to show up in the community, even if it's one community, even if it's one small group, maybe it's one person who can say, you know what, let's go out for coffee. Go with that person. Make sure it's the right person. If it's the wrong person, where
they will make
they'll
your
send
situation
you.
worse.
Yeah, they make it worse. They go spreading the gospel to people. They just you're speaking to someone and they're just ignoring you, and you're speaking about very deep stuff. So make sure the right person as well.
Okay, so be very careful about the company or the people you choose to be vulnerable with, because they either make it worse or take the burden off, but either way, let it out through journaling and through the voice recording, but make sure you seek for help at the end of the day. I love that. What are the professional helplines? Do you know, do you have it offered? Do you know the numbers that people can call if they're going through an emergency situation?
Okay, if you need help in regards to mental health, you can call our organization. We are called To Assist Kenya. You can call us via 011-046-5839, or you can just email us. Even from our social media platform, it's To Assist Kenya. You can reach out to us.
To Assist Kenya.
To Assist. Toa in Kiswahili, the word Toa, T-W-A, and then the name Assist.
Or Toa Assist Kenya.
Assist, yes, Toa Assist Kenya. You can call us, you can WhatsApp us. Whatever it is, you're going to reach out to us, and mostly you may find me. You know, sometimes when I say us, I mean me.
I am the us.
I am the us, I am the us. And of course, we have some other professionals in the field. Maybe you prefer a mail, of course, we have mail that we can also get you to. You can also go maybe like to Kenyatta National Hospital, like the youth center. You can be able to be assisted very well in a very affordable way if it's not free.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. And there are many other helplines, and I just want you to close this particular conversation, if you like summarizing everything, but I want you to give a message of hope to someone who today has woken up feeling like they just want to give up. Like they're tired with life, they do not have self-worth anymore, they don't feel like things are working, people do not seem to understand them, you know, like they are very alone and the situation is very unique to them. They're just broken and they do not know what to do. So maybe you can speak directly to them through your camera.
Okay. If you're going through a rough time right now, I want you to know that it will not last. It will not